Hello, and welcome to today's episode of The Daily Blend. I'm your host, AC, and we are joined in studio today by Allie Teagarden, who is the producer and director of That's What She Said Columbia. How are you, Allie?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Adonica. How are you?
I am good. It is good to have you here.
Absolutely. Thrilled to be here for year 4.
I mean, another year. Mm-hmm. It went by really fast.
It has. It's flown.
It seems like I was just at the show last year.
Yes.
Does it seem like that to you?
Very much so.
Yeah.
And I mean, this year's date is earlier than last year's, and that's been a trend this whole time. So I do lose a little bit of time every year.
Yes, every year.
Yeah.
Because I imagine you have to start working on this as soon as this show's over. You'll start working on 2027.
It is pretty much an immediate process. And in some ways, I'm already kind of thinking about 2027 because it'll be our 5th year anniversary show. And so that carries some weight in my mind for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember when you were planning year 1. Mm-hmm. My goodness. And it's grown every year.
It has. We've been so fortunate. I feel like people attend and they enjoy it and find a lot of meaning out of it. And so then they invite friends or family to join them the next year. And then it just grows and grows from there. So hopefully we will continue to pack the Missouri Theater as we gear up for this year's show.
Okay, so for anybody who might be listening or watching who's not familiar with That's What She Said, just give us a little bit of background.
Yes. So That's What She Said Columbia is an annual event that was created to provide a platform for powerful women's voices. And these are local women, everyday women that we interact with in different capacities across our community. And these women that you see from day to day, you may know them a little bit, but you don't really know the story behind that woman. And so this gives them the opportunity to share their life experiences, in some cases share stories that they've never shared publicly before. And really, it's just an opportunity for us to learn from women's experiences, maybe connect with pieces of their story that relate to our own stories, or hear about someone's experiences that are very different from our own, but are important for us to learn from. And so each speaker every year, we have usually 9 or 10 women from the community up on stage at the Missouri Theater, and they have about 8 minutes to share a story or series of stories from their life.
Yeah, it's a wonderful event. It's been amazing to watch each year, the different women. And you're right. You think you know somebody, but there's always a piece of somebody that you don't know.
Absolutely.
And you really have an uncanny ability to be able to coax women into bringing that out and sharing that on the stage in front of hundreds of people. And this year, we have a little surprise.
Yes, we do.
There's a member of our crew here at the Daily Blend that is one of the speakers this year, and she's going to join us from the booth. Hey, TK, how are you?
Hi, TK.
Hello. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so our own Takia Thomas is one of this year's cast members. How you feeling about that, TK?
Yo, I am so honored to have been chosen to be a part of this year's roster. Allie really brought in some hitters this year, for real.
Yes, she did. And what has the experience been like so far?
Well, I mean, I just mentioned Allie. I just want to give her a shout out. Like, we had a rehearsal a couple weeks ago, and, you know, I'm a poet here in town, and I'm all about, like, encouraging people to get up on stage and be in rooms and being vulnerable. Oh my gosh, it is such a skill to be able to facilitate a space like that where people are telling their stories and like getting really open. And yeah, just the rehearsal experience alone, like being in a room with all of these women, it's been really, really wonderful. And Allie, like you had just mentioned, like Allie really does seem to have a knack for like choosing the right people and like the right stories that almost seem to be in dialogue with one another. And yeah, that's been really, really awesome. But yeah, the rehearsals were great. Like, I'm loving getting to know these women, and you're right, these are people that we see like every day out on the street, but it's just like, yo, I didn't know that you went through that and that's how you got here. And yeah, it's incredible. It's been good for me to reflect on my own story too in this. So yeah.
Yeah, it is. I think that part of it, I mean, I've been a speaker as well. I think it was year 2 or year 2.
Yeah.
And it causes you as a speaker to pause in your own life and think back. Because that's what you typically don't do. You just keep going, right?
Absolutely.
And you don't take time to pause. Yes. That's just what we don't typically do that. And it does cause you to stop and think a little bit and pause and reflect on your own story a bit. Would you agree with that, TK?
Yes, absolutely. I love how you just said you just kind of like, you just be doing stuff. You just
Yes.
gotta like keep going to the next thing. And I knew when Allie invited me to do this that it was going to be a challenge, but it's one that I gladly accepted because I feel like as the older I get, as I step even further into my womanhood, I have to understand like my own story and where I've been so that I can be clear in how I move forward and how I am of service to this community and the people around me. And yeah, it is really important to take this time to reflect.
Yeah, I agree. And Allie, I imagine that is just what you intend.
Absolutely. And I realized coming in this morning that we'll have had 37 women up on that stage. And so far, everyone has said yes to me. Takia mentioned that, there was a little bit of a pause in thinking about it, but it turned into a yes. And so I'm so grateful for all the women, including you, who have said yes to lending their voices to our community in this powerful way.
Yeah, I think when you might pause at first, but I think you realize that your story could help somebody else.
Absolutely.
It could bring out something in somebody else. And really, that's the important part. It's not about really shining a light on you. It's about you hoping that it will touch or help somebody else.
Yes,
and I
it
know
does.
that's what your intention is.
Absolutely,
That's what
it
your
is.
intention is. So where can people get tickets? Like, let's talk about the good stuff.
Yes, yeah. So this year 4 of That's What She Said Columbia is on Saturday, April 11th at 7 p.m. at the Missouri Theater, and tickets can be purchased online in advance. You can head to our website, columbia.shesaidproject.com. There's a little button at the top that says buy tickets, and that will shoot you to our ticketing website. I also want to note that this year's show benefits a local nonprofit partner. Every year our show does. And this year we are supporting Voluntary Action Center. And so 25% of our ticket sales will go to providing a stockpile of essential hygiene products for women in our community. So please come out and support and enjoy hearing the stories of these remarkable women.
Is there an after party this year?
There will be an after party as well.
Okay.
Yes. We will have a dance party at Silver Ball Saloon in their speakeasy space. So it'll be a great time.
Okay. The after party is always a good time. All right. So go out and get your ticket. Come out and hear these amazing 9 women in our community that you might think you know, but you'll find out more. Allie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Adonica.